Hello everybody, it's Brian from what was Chestnut Oaks Homestead, but now we've bought a new farm and we have a new call in our lives, and we are going to be rebranding everything we do as Eternal Harvest Farms. But over on our Instagram page, which I will have a link to in the description below if you want to follow us on there, we had posted a post about making our own chicken tenders, our own breaded chicken tenders, and someone had asked us to show kind of how we go about doing that, and so that's what we're doing today. We just recently, in the last couple of days, finished harvesting our meat chickens and got them butchered all up, and so I have a bag of chicken breasts, which I'll get out in a moment, and we're just going to go ahead and kind of do that. But please excuse the kitchen and the messiness and the lack of wallpaper or backsplash. We literally just redid our new kitchen cabinets. We literally just got a new countertop sink, so it's a little crazy in here. But anyways, so we're going to make some chicken tenders, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is start with our flour. And I don't really do measurements when I cook, that's just kind of me. So maybe one day I'll figure out the measurements and I'll put it in the description. But for now, we're just filling our bowl most of the way with flour. And then the next thing is breadcrumbs. Now, if you want it more kind of textured, you can add more breadcrumbs. So I just like kind of a solid layer of that flour, not a whole lot. Alright, and then I like to add some garlic salt. You can add salt and pepper. I like the garlic salt, it just gives it a little extra, you know, it doesn't taste garlicky, it just gives it a little extra kick that I like. And so garlic salt, I mean, you just want to build a little mound a bit on the top. You don't want too much, but you don't want to go too skimpy and then it not be nice and salty. I like things super salty. So like, I don't know if you can kind of see how much I put on there. You know, it's a little bit, it's covered, a little mound there in the center. I like things really salty. If you don't like it salty, put a lot less in. But you know, you still want to really kind of cover that a thin layer, because you go too light, why'd you even bother? And then Old Bay. I cook everything with Old Bay. So I put a generous amount of Old Bay in there, and then just mix it all up. Alright, well, we got that all mixed up. Now we need to get the eggs and milk out. Alright, and in another bowl, we'll just go ahead and crack an egg in there. And then add some milk. Now again, we're just adding a little bit of milk. Now what I tend to do about adding milk is just whip up this egg. Now what I like to do with the milk, I like it to be kind of like a light yellow, if you can kind of see. Now with that being said, if you use like farm fresh eggs that you get out of your backyard chickens, obviously it's going to be a little darker. But like, you'll get the idea if you do this a couple times. You don't want it to be the consistency of water, you want that thickness that the egg is going to provide for the stickiness to stick this onto your chicken. So also then I will add a little bit of garlic salt, nowhere near as much as I added in the dry mix, and then a little more Old Bay again, and again same thing, nowhere near as much. So now we get our chicken out and just kind of cut it into whatever size, you know, strips you want. And then look, this is a simple process. Chicken, the egg batter here, and into your dry mix. Pat it, get it good and covered, give it a couple pats, like we used to do at church, patting oysters for the fall dinner. And put it on your plate and wait. So after a while you'll start to get clumps in your dry mix. And if you do use a bigger bowl, or you can use like, there's like aluminum pan type things. But if you get too many clumps, just take a sifter, a real fine sifter, and just dump that sand in and just sift it through, and you'll be good to go. And there you got your breaded chicken tenders, and you're ready to get frying here soon. Now we'll give you a little tip here. I don't do it with my chicken tenders, but I do it with like we'll do the same thing with like zucchini, squash, sometimes onions. You can do it with shrimp. We do catfish. Now I do this little tip with catfish. That's a good one to do it with. Sometimes, I don't always. But anyways, you can double pat. I've been surprised how many people don't even realize that. But if you put a double pat on there, that breading's thicker, and on certain things, I don't really do it on the chicken like I said, but on certain things I love that thick breading, especially squash and zucchini. Now the trick to doing a double pat is don't just now take it back in and pat it again. You got to cool it. So you got to let it sit in the refrigerator. Best overnight, but even if you just let it sit in the refrigerator for a few hours, sometimes I'll put it in the freezer or don't let it freeze, but just to cool it quick. And you'll start to see this breading, it'll get kind of wet, and everything will start to be absorbed. And that's when you want to do a double pat. And then you take it and you just put it right back into just the dry mix, and then right into the fryer. And that will get you a thicker breading, which really, squash, zucchini, great. Onions, it's real good on too. Catfish sometimes do. Like I said, we do it at the church, and that's how I really learned how to do all this bread and stuff, and I liked frying from that. We do at the church dinner, we did breaded oysters, and we always try to do double pat. But sometimes at the end of the night, we don't always do double pats because we have to kind of whip some more up and we already run out. But the double pats, it is a massive difference. It just adds more breading, and you increase, the bread to meat ratio. And on the chicken, I like single pat, so that's what we're sticking with. So now we're gonna go ahead and start the fryer. Alright, so now we come over here to our deep fryer and turn this bad boy on. This is a Warring Pro. It's just a little guy. It actually, take the lid off here. It actually comes with a big basket and then 2 little baskets that also fit right here, which is kind of nice if you do a little bit of chicken and some fries together or whatever. But this has been a great little fryer. We've had it for 4.5 years. As long as we've been married, it was a wedding gift if I recall. So yeah, we'll just turn this on, and then we'll set it to 365. So let that preheat. It'll let us know. It'll give us a good beep. This thing's pretty sweet. It'll give you a good beep when it's preheated. We probably ought to change the oil. Yeah, it's probably alright. If you don't have a deep fryer, you could also just fill a pan on the stove with oil. And you just gotta make sure you flip them and get it fried pretty good on both sides. But get a deep fryer, because if you're watching this, you want to fry things. If you want to fry things, you need a deep fryer. And I know I'm fat, so it doesn't mean much coming from me, but deep fryer is worth it. You can die happy, or you can die healthy. Either way, you're gonna die. So this part's pretty easy. Take your chicken, put it in the basket. Don't want to put too much in. Probably just put one more across. Get it all in the basket. And look, this is the challenging part. Ready? Lift, and drop. And one of the things we like to do with these is make some salads up, and we'll put it on the salads. And we'll also do like wraps and stuff, or you can just eat them straight up as chicken tenders. But yeah. And another nice thing about this, look, you don't gotta have your own chickens that you butcher and stuff. We've done it before. We just take the frozen chicken breasts out of the bag you get from the store and do them up this way. That way you get the nice good breading that you like, and you can mess with the recipe and whatnot and figure out what you like. So on this one, some of them are pretty big and they're not gonna float because they're sticking up. We had to turn them. These things are way thicker than we've done before because these chickens were, these breasts are pretty large. So that's gonna make it a little more complicated. I'm gonna pull them up. These are probably a little overdone because I was a little busy. But hey, give them a good shake. Give them a good drain out of that corner back in. There we go. Oh, all the way over. And there we are. Look, and if you're ever in doubt, open one up and make sure it's white. If it's white, chicken's done. If it's still pink, it ain't, like a translucent pink, it ain't done. Now you want to let them cool here for a while. But after they cool, put them in a gallon freezer bag. Probably put the date on it. And then freeze them. And look, here's the real cool thing. Once you freeze these, all you gotta do, pull them out, just like most bags of frozen chicken tenders. Pull them out. I put them on like 400-ish in the oven for about 15, 18 at the most minutes. And just until the inside's warm. They're already cooked, just like you get them out of the store in the freezer bag. They're already cooked. So you're just warming them back up. 15, 20 minutes, you figure it out, and the inside gets warm, and you're ready to go.